Okay, I got an extra copy of They Flew, A History of the Impossible by Carlos Iyer, a Yale University professor on the Christian levitating saints. And as I'm reading this, went down to our town library and we have a free bookshelf, and I went over there and sure enough there was a copy of it on the bookshelf and it had the library stamp on it, which means it had been in the library. And it's kind of strange because uh I know the books that get cataloged to get put in the library. Anyway, for some reason it got taken out of the library. I guess nobody wanted to read it. And also I've been asking around about the levitation of Christian saints, and all the people I know who claim to be Christian either get livid, immediately get really mad and say it's BS, or they get skeptical and don't believe it, or they just say it's a mystery and they're not interested. They don't want to, like you said, they can't explain it, and therefore, they're skeptical. And anyway, but my own research, like I have a peer-reviewed academic published paper that does explain levitation in my opinion, and not just my opinion because it's peer reviewed. So I'll put the link to my paper in the video notes, and if anybody wants me to mail them a copy of this book, it's such a great book that, to me, like the guy said when he wrote it in a like a devotional manner because he's Catholic, and the book talks about people converting to Catholicism because of he's writing about it in the context of the Reformation against the modern science and the Renaissance or whatever. And so it makes it kind of interesting. Like the Protestants apparently at the time were like these levitating saints prove that Luther was the devil, or that kind of thing, and that Protestants were really against any kind of miracles because they said that the only time miracles were possible were by God were in the during the first century of Christianity or something like that. Um, yeah, so I didn't really realize that Protestants were so against miracles or the supernatural. Uh, Ironically, since I was raised Protestant, and um, yeah, so he really goes into details about Saint Teresa de Avila, and he had written a whole biography about her before. And I'm about to finish the chapter on Saint Joseph de Cupertino. And the other thing is that if you have studied yoga like I have, then you can actually compare the saints' experiences with the different levels of yoga. So, for example, most of the time, Saint Teresa was not aware that she was levitating, but sometimes she could be aware of it, and then she demanded that she stop levitating, and eventually she did stop levitating. And if you think about it, she was actually like more intellectual than Saint Joseph de Cupertino. She was like very well educated, and she wrote in metaphors and all this. Um, Whereas, so like in yoga, when your left brain becomes dominant, then you go out of samadhi, and you lose the ability to levitate. Your body falls back down, but you can maintain nirvikalpa samadhi and be aware that you're meditating, and which would be like maintaining the right brain dominance without any thinking. You're just in a visionary state. And what else? the their what was I going to say? Oh yeah, their bodies emit light, like really bright light when they levitate, which proves to me that, all matter is made of light. And when you meditate, you're turning the light around and you're storing up the light and listening to the source of the light. So there's a secret power to light, and that's what this gravitationally repulsive force is. It's the inherent negentropy. And Saint Joseph de Cupertino also, he didn't just levitate; he had the ability to resurrect farm animals and do long distance healing and see people's souls and tell them their sins from years ago. And he was always fighting demons, and he saw angels, and um he had prophecy or precognitive visions. And what else? He barely ate any food. That's the thing. He only ate 2 days a week, and when he ate during those 2 days a week, he just ate like really, raw. He ate bitter vegetables was his main food that he ate. And then he pretty much just lived off the Holy Communion. But he was meditating all the time, so that makes sense because that's what happened. Like the guy I studied with in Qigong, Chen Yilin, he did levitate up 9 feet, but he only did it like right after he fasted for 28 days in the cave, meditating the whole time. Yeah, so basically, even Saint Teresa de Avila describes it as her soul going to heaven when she levitates, and it pulls her body with her. And that's what Chen Yilin, Qigong master Chen Yilin, described also, was that, his body, his spirit, traveled to heaven, and he experienced, like, he saw his ancestors, and he saw Taoist masters that he spoke with and everything, and they appeared to him physically. He said that even Lao Tzu physically appeared to him and touched his head, and which, it's hard to believe because it's like, did Lao Tzu? A lot of people think Lao Tzu never existed because it just means old man. But anyway, these are the the levels of reality where physical reality becomes like a hologram, and you can change physical reality. And he's gonna get into what he thinks is the physics of it as the book goes on. I'm about halfway through the book, but the main thing is like the love. He, like Saint Joseph de Cupertino, says that heretics have a hard heart, that the heart has to be, opened up and softened. And this is talked about a lot in shamanism. There's a Mayan shaman who talks about that.